Hello everybody, let me welcome you in the name of all from One Poland. My name is Octavia Radzio and I am happy to be the host of this presentation. The Polish legal system is one of the most complex in the world. This means many challenges for people in charge of SAP systems. The most recent regulation is the integration with the National E-Invoicing System of Poland, KSEF. The obligation comes into effect in 2024. With this presentation, we will show you how to prepare your systems on time. Before we start, here's a short intro about us. We are the largest SAP partner in Poland. One of our key competences is adjusting SAP systems to the legal regulations in Poland. We support SAP rollouts and provide many SAP add-ons. One of them is All for One KSEF. From now on, the story is to be told by our speakers. Szymon and Natalia are responsible for development and implementations of our solutions for KSEF. Szymon, it's your turn.
Thank you, Octavia, for this introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to tell you what about today the agenda we have. So we will start with the short introduction of what is the invoicing in Poland. Then we will go to the architecture of our tool. We are going also to show you a short demo of our product. Natalia is going to tell you about the possible additional integrations and the integration itself that we have implemented is the solution, what's new in our product, and how to prepare for the e-invoicing implementation. Starting from the introduction, our tool is out-of-the-box solution with a lot of our experience and our knowledge implemented. But every single project within every single product, we are going to make a tailor-made solution. So the core of the product will be the same for all of you, but we are going to adjust our solution to your specific SAP implementation. As you could see over here on the screen, our e-invoicing tool is one of the financial add-ons that we have prepared together with my team. Based on our experience within this solution, we have used a lot of experience from extraction the data we had from standard audit file. This is more than 200 licenses sold to the clients. Some of them are multiple entities, and we helping them to extract a lot of very complex data and prepare them in the XML files as well. But when we talk about not about the extraction, but with the communication with the Ministry of Finance, we use our experience mostly from the whitelist verification. Whitelist verification is a database from Ministry of Finance where you can see if your vendor or customer are VAT active, and before you do the payment, you should verify if the tax account is related or it's also on the whitelist. So before you do the payment, you should verify if your vendor is back on the list. And within this solution, so the whitelist, we use almost the same architecture that will be later on presented for the e-invoicing. But as you could see, we have a lot of add-ons for the financial. Every single new requirement given by Polish regulators is going to be also covered by us. So for the short introduction, I would like to tell you that now we are in the status in 2023 that this is voluntary. You can send the invoices to the national system of the invoices. And the current structures is the following: that you have some header. There is a subject 1, 2, and 3. For subject 1, it's going to be your entity data. Subject 2 is going to be your client, and subject 3 is any other entity is going to be, or maybe nowadays you are also presenting on the invoice, for example, the place where you would like to deliver the goods or services, or maybe you have some factor or factor company, which also you are representing on the invoice. This is possible in the subject 3. Next huge note, as you could see over here, is the actual invoice. And on the invoice, there is almost 400 fields that needs to be filled somehow. With our knowledge, you will find it easy to be done. But yes, this is almost 400 fields that needs to be mapped. Some of them are obligatory, some they are not. Sometimes you will see that they are dependent from each other. And the clue, or maybe the hardest thing within every single project is that to find the correct place from your current invoice, which might be electronic, maybe on paper. You need to find where to put the information on the XML file. And as you can see, more details. As I told you, almost 400 fields needs to be could be used. What projects we do right now together with my SAP team and the integration team of Natalia. We, of course, the main part of the projects that we have, it's about the sales invoices, where we integrate SAP systems. But not only, you can integrate any system and help you to achieve the communication with the national system, not only from the SAP, but also from another systems. As well, we can help you with the communication between your employees and with national system of the invoices. And from the purchasing, also, we can download the invoices for you and help them to integrate with your current workflow, or maybe we can propose our workflows that are prepared by our teams. So before we go to deep dive to the system, there is very important to understand what the architecture we are proposing. As you could see here, our One KSEF consists of two parts. One is the KSEF extractor, that is the add-on to the SAP, is created in our namespace. The main purpose of this tool on the SAP is to extract the data and to generate proper XML file. But on the other hand, on every single day, your employees or accounting teams, sales departments, they are going to use the KSEF monitor, where you could make a visualization of this invoice. You are going to see the status. Maybe somehow you would like to correct the data, which is not fine from the SAP, and you would like to add additional data. And maybe you would like to see also the dependencies between the invoice correction and the original invoice. So this is everything possible in the monitor you are going to see on the demo. And in the middleware, we are going to have a KSEF hub, and I would like to hand over to Natalia for the introduction of the KSEF hub.
Yes, so KSEF hub is a component that is maintained and developed within our infrastructure. It's a cloud component responsible for correctness and continuity of communication with the national system of e-invoicing. It provides buffering mechanisms in case the government platform system is unavailable. It supports document validation, PDF visualization. It significantly reduces update delivery time and risk related to that. It makes integration layer updates virtually transparent to you, and it is designed for quick and easy horizontal and vertical scaling. So it's a communication layer for the solution.
Thank you, Natalia. So we will move to the next one. So what's make us different from another tools that you might find on the market, that we can extract data from any single place in the system. Usually we extract the data from sales and distribution and from finance, but it is possible, of course, also from another table modules like contract accounting, maybe some custom solutions. Also in the next quarter, we are going to the available will be uploaded from the Excel file. Here with the previous slide, you have seen also that this is possible to integrate not only the SAP but another non-SAP system as well. There are two scenarios that could be covered by our tool. The main one, which is closer to me, that's we have the sales and distribution. Then it's automatically posted in the FI, and from the FI, from those both places in the system, we are going to create e-invoice and send it to the Ministry of Finance. But some of the clients, they would like to change the process of creation of the invoices. They would like to implement SD, create a posting block, send to the Ministry of Finance. After it's successfully sent to the Ministry of Finance, release the block and post it in the finance. Both scenarios are covered by our tool, and we could set them up. It is this is an easy to maintain solution, as we have told you that this is created based on our best experience with how we communicate with the Ministry of Finance. We also created some on-premise solution with our previous tools, but we do not recommend them on the daily basis to use with the communication of the Ministry of Finance. Later on, we also will told you that this is the easiest way to update the solution and to maintain the smooth communication with the Ministry of Finance. So we do not recommend any on-premise tools. And there is a few programming here required. A lot of things could be easily customized. So there are also, if there is less programming required, there will be a little bit less testing required as well. This is available to use any kind of the authorization to the Ministry of Finance platform. So you can use token, electronic signature, or maybe seal also for the entity. Visualization is possible to HTML and to PDF. What else do we have? We can cover all of the types of the invoices. So as you might know, there are 7 types of the invoices that could be sent to the Ministry of Finance. We can cover all of them. Also that which requires only to change the data on the invoice. So for example, it was not sold to Mr. Novak, but it's going to be sold to Mr. Kowalski, and you would like not to do another document in the SAP, but you would like to only to change the data. It's possible to do that with our tool. There is a full feedback visible in the SAP. You're going to see each status of each document, and into detail. It will be available in the SAP and in the easy way format for the end users. We can send emails confirmations that some issues were about the invoices as well. We can send an information to your clients that you have distributed or you have sent an invoice through the Ministry of Finance platform, because your clients or you as from your vendors, if you are going to obtain some invoices, you will not be notified. So this kind of the notification, I think we find it useful to be implemented. We integrate our tool with our landscape of our tools, so with the standard audit file, with the whitelist verification, or also with our workflows. It is out-of-the-box integration. We adapt a standard reports to present additional data from the KSEF system. It is possible when you are going to have some kind of the delegations, or your employees are going to bring you also some invoices nowadays they're bringing, that you will need to cover those invoices later on in KSEF. So for example, your employees are going to go maybe to some kind of the hotel, restaurant, and so on. So they are not going to deliver you a prime printable invoice, but you're going to obtain this invoice from the KSEF system. So you need to cover also this kind, how to map those invoices within your system. This is possible with our extensions. Our tools are also available for other countries. So if you are interested in another country, please also let us know. We are able to integrate our e-invoice system also with the EDI processes, because we know that they will be also maintained in the future. There is a lot of more information and automatization done in the EDI processes now our customers have, so they will remain also. and we know how to integrate them, and it's possible to integrate with our tools, we can send some. We usually recommend to send all of the invoices automatically, but in some cases, you would like to set a block. For example, if there is an invoice created for above maybe 100,000, you would like to double check if those invoices should be issued, and this you can set this block as for like this. What else do we have here? Yeah, automatic regression testing is also supported. If you change customizing, if you change your, we are going to deliver you an update, you probably are going to have hundreds of scenarios that should be covered by each testing phase, and we help you to make them out automatically by the tool. You, after finalization of our consultant, our Polish-speaking consultant, so they will be available for you as well later on. The support and the service desk will be done by our Polish consultants. We do not need any SAP nodes, and there is no the limitation of SAP components are very low in our opinion. So we almost can meet any SAP requirement, and can be almost installed on any SAP version. Almost, not every. Please let us know which version do you have. What else? Automatic resending of invoices is also possible with our tool, but we are going to change this process a little bit because now we are working on this non-obligatory law, but in the future it's going to be changed. So there will be some additional activities needs to be done. If the system of national invoices is not going to work properly, you can send the invoice as you do it today. So by email, for example, and later on, you need to send it to Ministry of Finance. But this is currently on the project phase from the Ministry of Finance, and it will be later on implemented. And now I would like to hand over to Natalia once again, and later on I will come back to the demo session.
Okay, so next question that is commonly asked is, what are the costs of the integration with KSEF? Most often our solution is compared to the solutions offered in on-premise model. Therefore, we made a summary of costs that have to be taken into account when choosing one or another approach. To begin with, let's look at the one-time launch cost. And for on-premise solution, we need to take into account the cost of the software, the cost of implementation itself, the business risk. Also note that many of these costs should be multiplied twice if you plan to launch only test and production environment, or even 3 times in case you also require development environment. The all-for-one solution is offered in software as a service model that is maintained on our side, on the provider side. And therefore, the key cost is here one subscription fee, which includes most of the costs you otherwise have to pay on your own. In particular, you do not have to worry about the cost of KSEF licenses, the database, operating systems, installation of integration layer and its monitoring. The only costs that are to be paid at the start are the cost of running the launching the extractor that collects the data for the documents, and the cost associated with training and launch time, which in the case of all-for-one solution are relatively low. The situation is similar in case of the solution maintenance costs. If we look at the other solutions in the on-premise model, we have to take into account many costs associated with hardware resources, with software, the maintenance, updates, service, etc. And most of these costs in our solution are included in the subscription price. So there is no doubt that when we take into account all the costs and risk associated with launching and maintaining the solution in both approaches, the subscription of the all-for-one solution is definitely more cost-effective. A few words about architecture of our solution. So the basics were already covered by Szymon and me a couple slides ago. But important fact when it comes to how the solution is built is that it's built based on our experience in developing many solutions, many integration solutions that work for our customers for years and support their businesses. In particular, the experience we learned from such products as a Distrada platform, a billing portal, JPK transfer, partner checker, and many others. These solutions handled millions of electronic documents exchanged between our customers and have helped hundreds of companies meet legislative requirements and integrate with various government platforms. When designing the solution, we focused especially to ensure that the solution was safe, efficient, failure-free, and requires no effort or at least minimal effort for maintenance and updates. Our standard solution, as was already mentioned, consists of three components. The two main important are the KSEF hub and the KSEF extractor. And the KSEF hub, as I mentioned, is the communication layer for the solution. So it coordinates the requests communication between SAP or other systems with Ministry of Finance in align with the requirements that the Ministry of Finance gives, and makes it, and the purpose of this layer is to make the communication efficient and fluent. Moreover, this architecture enables us also to provide you with a better, more efficient service. The KSEF hub does not store the documents by default. The documents actually disappear system as soon as they are processed. But in case you need additional archivization, there's an add-on to the KSEF hub built-in add-on that is called KSEF Archive, and this is a solution that enables, if it's activated, you can store all the documents processed by KSEF hub additionally in our all-for-one secure repositories. Key objectives of this solution are out-of-the-box integration with KSEF hub. So you just need to activate the service and the documents will be stored. Storage of structured purchase and sales invoices. Also storage of UPO files. Ability to download PDF visualizations and original structured invoice. Another component included in the solution is KSEF Monitor. It's a web application that gives access to information on the status of document processing and access to document in the archive if you use this option. The application allows for managing, for example, connection to your system, the tokens that authenticate your company in the Ministry of Finance platform, to manage companies and users, the available pool of the documents, and also this application can be used to generate some reports that gives you information and can be processed further. And the last component, which was already also mentioned, is the KSEF extractor. Szymon, I don't know if you would like to add something about this component when it comes to architecture.
We are going to now move to the demo, and I would like to show you the tool itself on the system. I think that would be the best to describe how the component on the SAP system. So I'm going to take over a screen for now. Yes. Here we go with the screen. This one, good. Now we have moved to this, our demo session. As you could see, all our tools is developed in our namespace. So by default, we are not going to change anything in your standard SAP customizing. At the end, we are going to tell you also that how the project will look like. And at the beginning, we start with the analyzing phase. And based on this analysis, we might give you some recommendations to the change of the system. But this is, optional. We can adjust to almost any SAP customizing that you have without changing the SAP. Here we go with the tool. As you could see, you could go to the cockpit, you could go to the customizing, you could go to the additional programs. Within these additional programs, you might find we have this automatic regression possible, automatic regression testing possible. It will be done over here. For the details, I would like to recommend you on the individual sessions. The customizing will be discussed on the individual sessions, how many possibilities of the customizing is there. And we will now go to the cockpit. Before the cockpit and the documents you are going to see here, before that steps, there will be also some steps, some programs before that, and the program which works before that is called the extractor. The extractor extract the data from the system and generate the file. And later on here in the cockpit, it is possible to generate, validate, send, and check the answer from the Ministry of Finance. All of those steps, the extraction, generation, sending, validation, and so on, it could be automatic process, like a background job every minute, twice a day, once a day. How often you would like to do it could be done automatically by the system. On the left hand, on the left, you will see that each entity and errors that, for example, that some documents might be find errors in the validation, and you will see, okay, here are some missing values for this particular invoice. You could go to the successfully sent documents. As you could see, we are here testing hundreds of the documents, so it is possible to send them enormous data for this platform. What you could see here, as I have told you, that it's possible to block some invoices before automatic sending to the Ministry of Finance, like those above 10,000 Polish zloty. You can block them. You can go to the document itself, and you will see each status in details. The status usually are like errors ready to be sent, blocked before processing, errors during the sending, waiting for the response, or maybe signature is needed. So for this huge invoices, you might find that also this electronic signature needs to be given. You go for this over here, you just go here, additional signed. All of those steps are possible. What else is very important to say that you can, if the documents are not sent yet, you can go to the forms. Maybe you would like to go to the change. You can go to the forms, and you can add additional data. And of course, you can add additional data if it's needed, like this. Yeah, here we go. You can maybe change this, the type of the invoice from VAT to correction invoice, and additional everything about the validation could be done. As you could see, I have changed the correction from the normal type of the invoice, changed to correction. As you could see, this one should now refer to another document which is missing, and the validation is saying, okay, it's not correct. Please give additional invoice about correction. What else? You could go here for the visualization. Is the visualization based on the transformation from the XML file to HTML file or to the PDF? Yes, you can also go to the PDF. This is given by the Ministry of Finance. If you would like to, you can go and download all of this visualization, XML files, and so on. At the end, after you successfully send it to the Ministry of Finance, you would like also to have UPO from the Ministry of Finance. So maybe I'm just going to display it, not to download. Here we have the UPO, because we are opening the session and sending a lot of the invoices through the session. So there will be, for each of these documents, there will be one UPO, because 1,000 documents can go through one open session. Good. So now we are going to send some documents on outgoing invoices. I will go for last 1,000 days extracted from the system. Here I have the company. Here I have also can change it by the status partner and so on. But I will go to the change mode, and I will pick out some invoice. Here you see that some of them are in the different status. Some of them are already sent. Some of them have the errors during the validation, and some of them, for example, there is a mismatch when we do the sending to the Ministry of Finance and the person who has not authorization trying to send the document. But let's go here maybe. This is a document, and if it's not enough, you can go also to the visualization of this document. Here we have the status, here we have the XML file and the document itself. And I'm going to take this one. Of course, all of those steps could be done automatically by the background job. So the extraction, generation, validation, sending, and verification of the answer could be a background job every minute, every hour, twice a day, as often you want. But now I would like to do it manually. So I'm going to do the send. And now, as you could see, the document is processing. It's going to take a while when there will be a response come back to the system. But meanwhile, we would like to show you how it looks on the hub. And at the end, we will come back to the system to show you, oh, it's already sent. So that was a quick process. As you could see, after a second, it was already sent to the Ministry of Finance. Usually it's a little bit longer, seconds more. And here we have the document ID given by the Ministry of Finance. And now I'm going to hand over to Natalia.
Thank you, Szymon. Now we will see what it looks like on the side of the KSEF Hub Monitor application. So the web application, which is used to monitor all the traffic, all the processing that is happening on the KSEF Hub side. And now we will look into the system. And now we can see the first screen, the list of the documents that are available in the application. Okay, and now we will look for the invoice that was processed. We can see it here. After we expand the view, we can find additional details. We can see that the document was successfully processed in the Ministry of Finance system and that it was given the KSEF ID, which is here. Also, in case of documents that weren't processed successfully, we can see information about the cause of the error. For example, here we have the document that wasn't processed successfully, and we can see that the the error or the message returned by the Ministry of Finance is nieprawidłowy wydawca dokumentu, which means the issuer of the document is incorrect. Besides, in the other tabs, we can manage the tokens that are used to authorize our company in the KSEF platform. We can manage our companies, so the subsidiaries that are within our scope, within our account. Also the users and some administration settings. Also, if you have the option KSEF archive option available or activated, actually, so that means if you store the documents in all-for-one repositories, then you have available option of PDF preview from this point. And for example, for the invoice that was sent by Szymon to our system, we can download the PDF document, and now we can see it visualized within in a PDF format. Okay, so I think we can move back to you, Szymon.
So once again, you have seen this document on Natalia's screen on the hub. So without archive activated, you are going only to see the general information about the status and dates and the ID, of course, but you will not able to download the document because we do not store the data by default. Nevertheless, here in the SAP, you have the same information and you own this data on your SAP system, so you have, of course, the documents in SAP as well. You have also seen that some errors there was some errors during the sending, and that was probably this document. Incorrect answer from KSEF. If we go deeper, then this information is also given in the SAP in the status as well. So someone without authorization while trying to send the document. Okay, that was the demo, and we can go back to our presentation. So as you have seen that we have sent the invoice to the platform. It is also possible to see the incoming invoices. Here we have some templates, but it's also worth mentioning that this is possible not only to send the invoices to the platform, but also to download the invoices from the platform. We could execute this. As you could see, there is hundreds of the invoices, thousands downloaded from the Ministry of Finance, and by default we could help you to download them and maybe to save them in some shared catalog. We can send them to some of the email that you would like to have it on the email. But what we usually do with our projects, we integrate our tools with all the workflow your current workflow, if you are satisfied with your current workflow, or we can help you with our workflows. So we are going to propose our workflows. We have two kinds of workflows. One is it's within the SAP, and the second one, which is the outside of the SAP, and we can propose them as well. Now we will go back to the presentation. Only some additional information will be added, but it's worth mentioning. And at the end, we are going to see how the project looks like. So the demo is done. Overview, we have seen how the solution works. And now about the security.
So when it comes to security, when creating the KSEF Hub solution, it was an important point for us to ensure the highest possible level of security. And therefore, all the communication that takes place in the solution is going through encrypted HTTPS connections using secure SSL certificates with TLS versions at least 1.2 or higher. So in accordance with all the good practices and indications, security indications that are on the market. Communication is always initiated by the client system. So always the extractor triggers the communication, never the other way. So there is no risk that some system will try to reach your SAP, for example, pretending to be a different solution and that tries to get access. In addition, as mentioned earlier, we do not archive the documents in KSEF Hub on the standard basis. Documents disappear from the system as soon as they are processed, and Hub only stores the technical information, the metadata required to provide the service to your company. It includes, in general, technical data regarding your company and the document processing. We receive a lot of questions from our customers about the security, and therefore we prepared some answers to most common of them. And first of all, all the data that is stored in the European Union on the servers located in Poland. The data is encrypted. The solution is regularly pen tested. It is certified in scope of infrastructure with norm ISO 27001, and in scope of development, it follows the standards and procedures compliant with ISO 27018. Although it's not certificated in that scope yet, but it's compliant with all the regulations that we cover in that scope for also other of our products that are certified. Its test and development environments and production environments are separated. Also, all the critical actions and operations are tracked and logged. We have implemented proper information security policy. Of course, the solution is compliant with GDPR requirements. The solution is only available in the software as a service model. The solution is monitored on the daily basis. All the problems are detected within 10 seconds. Solution is the subject to a risk analysis. It supports division of authorization. Also, all the crucial administrative procedures are defined and documented. The security patches are installed regularly. The communication between SAP and KSEF Hub can go through SAP PI PO. The solution can be offered also in the private model. So on the standard basis, it functions in a multi-tenant architecture, but our offer also includes the option of carving out the solution into so-called private solution. And private solution model means dedicated instance of the solution for you, solution carved out in a private container, exclusive database, and ability to set up a VPN tunnel with the customer infrastructure, as well as possibility to set up a private domain. Our solution supports comprehensively integration with SAP, of course, but not only. It can also be integrated with different non-SAP systems, like, for example, some workflow systems, a billing, EDI, etc. We can integrate external systems through SAP, so that there is one integration channel and the SAP covers the communication with KSEF Hub. Or we can also integrate external systems with KSEF Hub using SOAP API provided by KSEF Hub. And for more complex scenarios, when there's the need for some more complex integration or mappings, we can also add to the landscape the KSEF integrator, which provides wider and more flexible abilities in scope of message format mapping and integration protocols. Of course, when it comes to these complex integrations, when there are more systems involved, we recommend to consult and analyze the specific case, so that the solution can be tailored to your individual needs and specifics.
I'm going to take back what's new in the product. So as I've already told you, that there is now, because we have a lot of projects ongoing right now, and this is very difficult to test them test them manually. So after each phase that we have done, and hundreds of the scenarios were verified by us. So based on our experience, we have created the automation of regression testing. So every time you are going to obtain a new update, you are going to change the customizing, you can use this additional new feature, and all of the scenarios that you have already covered will be automatically verified if the change is correct for them as well. Within all of those projects, when we find out that some of the functionalities should be out of the box, then we implement it by the standard, and this is flexible configuration possible then, just simple activation of a new feature and it will be there. As you might know, our old products, for example, standard audit file required some of the programming knowledge. Over here, with this tool, there is more and more customizing, so you can create almost any kind of the logic from the standard SAP tables out of the box, and based on them, create your own logic, how you would like to fulfill the information on the e-invoice. The end users will be trained and it is possible also for them to do this customizing as well and to maintain and change them in the future. Email notification to the customers, it's possible we can attach additional information, because this is always a problem how to send the additional information which are not on the invoice. So we can help you also with the attachments, how to be distributed to the client. Signatures, also they are supported, all of them, all of the seals and the electronic signature are supported within our tools. And how to prepare for the implementation. So at the end, we would like to tell you about the project itself. So it's very it's useful if you know information website. Natalia, if you could please go back. Yes, thank you. So there is a website from Ministry of Finance. You know the structure, and you go through the brochure. And there will be new one for because there is a project now ongoing for the next year when it will be mandatory invoicing. So probably very soon we are going also to have a new brochure with the new structure released. Ministry of Finance, they are also publishing some webinars. They're worth to know. It's worth also to say that for now, for the demo, you need this not electronic signature, but the seal for the entity needs to be also purchased to go with smooth testing. We have also prepared for all of you the SharePoint side. You are going to have the access, and each step is already there and waiting for you to be done. And also, of course, for the consultants and for the project managers and for programmers as well. There are steps for both for clients and for the project team from All for One. We start always with the verification of your system. So we start with the analysis, and we later on have the knowledge how the product should be customized to your particular SAP implementation. We are going to make initial configuration of the tool, set up the connection to the platform. We do internal test. Later on, you will be test trained and tested together. The tool will be tested together. And at the end, if probably this phase of the testing, there will be a couple of weeks of this. And at the end, we will finally start with the go live. Thank you for now. And I will hand over to Octavio.
Natalia, Szymon, thank you. And first of all, thank you, our listeners. At this moment, I'd like to encourage you to contact us if you have any KSF issues or dilemmas. At All for One Poland, we are here for you. Goodbye and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.